She's probably got a better diet than 99.99999% of all people.
Maybe that's because of all people. Actor Woody Harrelson is her owner. The happy hippie, as Woody calls himself, had longed for a place a bit off the grid. Far away from LA's high-priced lunches and the Hollywood spotlight, he once feared might chew him up.
I didn't want to raise my kids in LA. I just, it ain't a bad town and there's a lot of good people there, but I just didn't think it was the place to raise the kids.
He landed his family in Costa Rica for a while, but then the committed vegan decided Maui was the place to be.
And I just love it here, and I mean, it's got the beauty of Costa Rica, but better produce.
That's a different kind of endorsement than the Hawaiian Islands are used to, but Woody rarely does things by the book. On a recent trip back to LA, he came to present the Golden Globe nominees and decided to ad-lib.
Best Motion Picture, Drama. Rampart, but I don't see it on the list here.
One way or another, he was going to make sure that Rampart, his upcoming movie, got noticed.
Hey, what's your problem? Oh.
It is a gritty film, to say the least, tracking the downward spiral of a rogue cop in the LAPD. His character, Dave Brown, is as angry as he is paranoid. A chain-smoking, dirty cop.
Why are you looking to hang me? Why me?
Described by some as rotting from the inside out.
Of all the truly rotten cops out there, why are you after the one guy who gets it?
Do you think you knocked it out of the park?
Well, that's funny, because when I first saw it, I thought I was terrible. I really did.
What changed your mind then?
I saw it again. My biggest problem prior to starting all this was just believing that I could be a cop. The first time I saw a picture of myself, you come in and put on the wardrobe.
Action.
And I was like, I don't know, man, looks like me at Halloween or something,
If playing a cop was a stretch, playing an Army officer, whose job it is to notify family members of the death of a loved one in the messenger, was even tougher.
Your husband,
Can you ask your
Corporal
buddy to
Mario
shut up and get out of
Delano,
here?
was killed last night in Iraq.
Especially given Woody's outspoken opposition to the war.
Secretary of the Army has asked me to express his deepest sympathy to you. I used to always kind of lump the soldiers in with the war. It wasn't that I had anything against them, but I just kind of put it all together.
That changed, he said, after working with real soldiers and their families. And his was an Oscar-nominated performance.
I'd never cried on screen until The Messenger.
You'd never cried?
Never. I think I faked it once or twice, but I never actually cried. And in The Messenger, you couldn't hardly stop me from crying.
Born in Texas and raised mostly in Ohio, Woody Harrelson always loved the theater. But another role came calling at the very moment he was getting his first big break on Broadway, in a place where everybody soon knew his name. Cheers.
You from out of town?
My name's Woody Boyd.
Woody? Hi, I'm Sam Malone.
So you had to choose basically between going into TV or staying
Well,
on
to
Broadway?
me, it was a hard choice. I was thinking, well, I need to stay pure. I don't want to do television. I got to stay pure and do theater.
So what changed your mind?
Every other person said, go do that freaking show, you idiot.
I'm a great believer in intuition. It's like when I first saw you, Sam. Something told me you were super smooth with the ladies. Maybe it was that time you walked out of here with 4 of them, 1 on each arm.
And there he stayed, winning an Emmy before Cheers finally wrapped in 1993.
Were you worried about being typecast, though, in sort of the Woody role?
Oh, yeah, I was 6 years on that show without even a nibble.
He didn't have to wait long. He's done almost 40 films since Cheers.
The pervert is back!
His first Oscar nomination came in The People vs. Larry Flint.
What's your name?
Sophie?
Tell everybody the pervert is back.
A part he only agreed to take after he met and liked Larry Flint himself.
it took sitting down with him and hanging out and realizing how incredible, refreshingly honest he is.
Is that what you liked about him?
He would say anything. There's no censor in his brain. I mean, during the course of this conversation, I've censored myself 25 times. He wouldn't. He would not censor himself.
They grew so close, in fact, Woody jokes Larry Flint could be his father, a surrogate for the one who was rarely around.
I never got fathered, like in the traditional sense.
Charles Harrelson spent most of Woody's childhood in and out of jail, and in the early 80s was convicted of the contract killing of a federal judge and sentenced to 2 life terms. He died in prison in 2007.
Were you guys pretty close?
Well, I'd say we were pretty close, but it's hard to get to know someone really well when you're talking through glass on phones.
How often could you go visit him?
For the last part of his life, he was in the Supermax in Colorado, so didn't get much opportunity to kind of hang time I would have liked.
It's not that Woody is a stranger who brushes with the law, but most of the time his are for a cause. He was arrested for planting hemp seeds in Kentucky to bring awareness to hemp's sustainability as an industrial crop. He also scaled the Golden Gate Bridge in hopes of saving the redwoods.
Line 1, Woody Harrelson.
That landed him in court, too. There's less activism these days, and more time focused on being a good husband to his wife Laura, and father to their 3 daughters.
People ask me what I've taught my kids. I like to think that I've been an incredible role model of what not to do. So
that includes losing a lot of money at his favorite hangout in Maui, the home of country music legend Willie Nelson.
yeah.
How much money would you figure you've lost to Willie?
Well, I built that far wing on the house.
The Woody Suite, we call it.
Willie's poker nights are legendary, we're told.
Okay,
His domino game can't be beat,
this ain't looking pretty.
as Woody found out.
Thank you, man. Good game. What I don't understand is you knew how this was going to work out. And you brought the world in
To watch you lose
to watch it happen.
Even in defeat, Woody Harrelson is as happy as he can be.
Somebody said once that they thought that you were one of the most underappreciated actors of our generation. I think that's true.
Well, that's interesting because lately I've been thinking maybe I'm a little overappreciated. You know,
How so?
you can look at it that way. You know, people thinking I'm better than I am. You know.
Expectations sometimes are a bit too high. You worry?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to run out of ideas the next time I do a part and just phone it in, you know? So, yeah, I'd rather the expectations stay low.